I'm gonna give you all a second to get here, um, and just stare off into the distance awkwardly. Okay, I just saw the notification go out, so hopefully that means y'all will start clicking. I know it's super slow. Like last time I was sitting here for a minute. Hi. Hello, hello. I'm super excited. I wanted to go live. Spirit kind of led me to go live today, and I never come to press juice, but I. Hi, 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 Brooklyn. Hi, Mariah. I don't know how you say your name. Is it Tashay? Hi, Ryan. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Spirit kind of led me to press juice today, and I never come here and I never sit outside. But I wanted to talk about how to recognize opportunities from the universe because April, hi everyone, how are you doing? Tell me how you're doing too while I'm explaining. Um, April is a lot of like cleansing, fast energy, high. And then May is going to be extremely fast as well. And then moving into June, a lot of your, manifestations, you're going to see them in real life. Thank you, whoever is liking the live. I appreciate it. It always sends it out to more people. Um, so I wanted to make sure that right now, all of you have everything you need to be able to recognize these opportunities because they're coming in very different forms. And if you haven't been like doing a ton of healing recently or been going outside, let this be your confirmation for you to go outside, for you to go outside as much as you can. Hi, Ryan. Are you from Ireland? I love Ireland. I'm also Irish. O'Neill clan. um, but so I kind of wanted to share because Spirit was wanting me to explain like how I ended up in certain situations. And so for any of you, which are any of you like artists or musicians or writers, dancers, like any sort of art, let me know in the chat if you are, or even if you haven't done it in a while, like do you still feel in your heart and soul that you are an artist? Because I feel like that's the most important thing. And Spirit is like, yeah, singer. Okay, cool. Yay, awesome. Because I was like, why do you want me to talk about all these things? Um, so I'm really happy that you're here. But so the path of a lot of the artists right now is very different, very, very, very different. And I know that Spirit wants you all to be able to go on your path and realize that your path is different. Because what Spirit is doing and what the ancestors are, yes, definitely going to blow. I love that. What the ancestors are doing is they are orchestrating things around you, but you have to be able to intuitively and physically be open to saying yes to them. And so that's going to require a lot of safety because it's going to come in a really weird way. And you're going to be extremely tested, meaning you're going to have to really build your resilience. You're going to have to push your craft or your crafts as far as you can take them and to not give up. Because what has been going on is it almost looks like a round of 3 to 4 is what they were saying. Like there's a round of 3 to 4 things that have to do with your artistry, and then the fourth or third one, depending on who you are, um, is going to be the one that like sets you free and sets you up for your fame. And that's why they want it to be so obvious to you. I feel there's a lot of, yeah, so many shifts and so many tests. So something that happened to me, which is why I want to explain this to you. Um, I had created a vision board, right? So if you have not created a vision board, you need to create a vision board immediately. Like, especially if you're an artist, like, I don't want you to drag your feet on this. I don't want you to resist it. I don't want you to have any excuses. I want you to create a vision board. Go get magazines, see if there's free magazines in people's houses. Go to your neighbor's house. I don't care what you do. Start a vision board and just allow your energy to flow. Don't think about, oh, I'm going to clip it and put it here. No, I want you to fully channel everything that your energy wants to put onto that board, because what that board is going to do is going to give you the truth about everything that you were trying to manifest and things that you cannot see as an artist. And that is exactly how my journey started. And I realized in the center was a very famous singer, like somebody was like very, very famous. And I was like, oh, like that's interesting. And then the next day, I went to get my hair cut, and the person who was doing my hair, I didn't know anything about them. We were just kind of friends. Um, and I started to tell them that I was a singer and all these things, and weird shit was happening with my board. And also, let me know in the comments, do any of you have a vision board? Like, how do you physically manifest? Like, some people just write stuff down. Some people like go out and meditate, but like, how do you bring it into your 3D? Because manifestation always requires you to have some sort of tangible something in your life to help you bring it to the earthly realm, which people forget about. That's why in hoodoo you see, hi, peace and love. That's why in hoodoo you see a lot of people use earthly elements to manifest whatever they need, because they bring it into the earthly space, and that's also where the ancestors are. So let me know in the comments how you do your manifestations. But I was getting my hair done, and I decided back then I did like half hot pink, half purple, and then I did the opposite in the back. And he randomly had said to me, like, Z, like, what are you gonna do if a producer walks up to you and like they ask you to sing for them, or they want you to like create music or perform right away? And I was like, I don't really know, right? So that is how your tests are going to come, even if it's a small conversation. So always make sure that you are paying attention, because the next week, literally, I went to a show. It was a spiritual show where I was selling things for my apothecary. I had a drum on my table and I was leaning on it like this. And a music producer walks up, and they're like, hey, do you make music? What do you do? I produce music. Are you a singer? I'm looking for a singer. And then another test, right? So it keeps going over and over and over again until you fully accept your path. And the more that you say yes to it in those moments, the more your manifestations are going to move. And thank you. And I would see this with so many people who wanted to manifest their artistry, wanted to manifest opportunities. But when someone popped up out of the blue, which is what spirit likes to do, someone pops out of the blue and asks you, hey, are you a painter? Are you a poet? What do you do? Tell me what you do. What's your name, right? Because some people shift their name. If you are like, right now in this energy, you're going to get slapped on your butt and then like told to go back to isolation, right? Because you have to heal it away. Hi, 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 hi. Thank you. I love electric energy. It's just something that's a part of me. But also, I think I channel so much that that's just how the energy comes out. So when you are going outside, I want you to be open to possibilities. I want you to be open to people. I want you to be open without overthinking. And another example is yesterday, someone kept like bopping me on the arm with a pressed juice. And I was like, okay, I get it, Spirit. You want me to go to pressed juice whenever the opportunity is presented. This is where I'm at right now. But before I like got here, someone texted me something about an opportunity. And I was like, yes. And then boom, I got free stuff in here. And then it's like your day will just keep going like this over and over and over again. And after I met that producer, because I said yes, right? I sent them my music, and then after that, I had Trackmatic, who like did a bunch of music for Guapale and works at Rock Nation, do my music, and it was because I had said yes so many times. So make sure that you are not being the one factor that is keeping you from your manifestations. So I want you to write in the comments, like if this is resonating, if you're fully understanding, and like how you are manifesting. None of you wrote what like how you are manifesting. So I want to know from you, like, how do you do your manifestations? Is it a vision board? Is it journaling? Is it visualizations? Because I want to help you. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Um, I want to help you, and I know I'm here for a reason, because I never come here. I never come here, and for some reason, my parking thing had an extra hour on it, and I'm like, nah, bruh. Who do I need to talk to? Hi. Okay, so you journal and have a vision board. You have a vision board on Pinterest. Okay. So where's your vision boards? And do you look at them daily? Like, do you meditate with them first thing in the rising? Like, and when you look at them, do you feel like you love them so much? Like, I know, Brooklyn, you said you're stepping into fame, and I freaking love that because if you are in the energy, that's how it happens. I draw and a poet, and you paint. Um, oh, you're so sweet. I'm always happy to help. Tell me how you do it. I journal and vision board physically and one on Pinterest, but I don't look at it. Okay, so yeah, set some time to look at it on my phone, but I'm going to change. Okay, so I actually love the idea of having it on your phone. So sometimes I flip between, like, I don't know what kind of phone you have. So sometimes I flip between having my vision board on the front of my phone and then I have it on the inside. Like, you know how you can have two different photos if you have like an Apple or whatever, like your locked screen and your whatever screen. So sometimes I would put like I always put Buddha. Buddha is on the front of my phone because Buddha is very lucky, depending on also what color Buddha you use and the colors in the photo. It draws in a lot of money. And then my vision board would sometimes be on the inside or whatever I was manifesting. And then I would rotate it every month or so because you want to focus your energy and then you want to let go of your energy and then allow it to manifest. So that's something you could do. And like have your everybody who has a vision board, yeah, the wallpaper. Oh, and you do affirmations. I love that. Like put your vision board somewhere where you can see it immediately when you wake up. And I don't recognize many of your names, but I have a video, an old video on my Instagram, and maybe I'll make a new one about how I manifest with my vision board and how everything always comes true. And what I actually added in was using post-its, and I told my ancestors to rip it off when it was coming, and that's what they started doing. And it was like magazine collage and things like that, but I would write specific words. Like I wrote producer, like like healthy. My body started changing, like all these things, like cities, places, people I wanted to meet. And then as it would come in, the ancestors would remove one and it would fall to the ground, and that's how I knew it was coming. And then I kind of stopped doing that for a little bit with the post-its because I traveled so much and it became too hard to do that. So then I just like let the energy out and into the world. Um, yeah, like they would like pull the post-it off the board so that I knew it was coming and that it was manifested. Like my ancestors like speak that way a lot of the time, very specific ones. And for like I have like what is it called? Like a horseshoe. A lot of people put them the wrong way. Like a lot of people put them upside down. Like that's how your luck pours out. So if any of you has a horseshoe, make sure it's facing the other way. So I have a horseshoe, and it's very, very lucky, just like a railroad spike. And so anytime that that falls down, I know a lucky event is coming or luck is on my side. And there's specific ancestors who communicate like that, or they'll just throw my shit. Like before I went on my trip, they were throwing my passport everywhere. Like I was like, I get it, like So, yay, amazing. Yeah, definitely do it. So, the more you connect with your ancestors and the more you connect with your guides, the easier your path becomes, and the more you can lean into being supported because even if you have your physical like vision boards, sometimes there's this subconscious like energy that slides in of like, is this actually going to happen? And your ancestors and your guides or spirit can give you a heads up that it's actually coming. Like if you don't have visions, if you're not a seer quite yet, or like you're developing it, build a build a communication channel with your ancestors. That's why in my class, Z School for the Gifted, I teach people about soul contracts with their ancestors so they know how to communicate with you in a way that you understand. That's like unique to you and you alone, not like signs that I would pick up on, but on you because everybody's spiritual journey is different and at many different times you're going to be experiencing different things. So sometimes in the beginning of the journey, some people don't want to see their ancestors because they're scared. That's something you can tell them. It's like, okay, well, you can communicate me with it in a different way, or maybe you can come to me in my dreams, or maybe you can like knock shit over, or maybe you can do whatever you want, just make it obvious. Like that's something that I say. Like I don't care what you do, just make it obvious. If you need to slap me in the face, pull my hair, like that's fine too. And literally, when I'm in New Orleans, that's what they do. They pull my hair, they push me, they'll like make shit catch on fire. Like, and it's the funniest thing. And when they're upset, they come out around me. And if the spiritual people who are on the opposite side of me are also very strong, they will understand what's going on. Um, yeah, you need to have an ancestor altar today. Let that be your reminder. Tips for doing that. Which part, Brooklyn? Let me know which part. I found you on the ancestor video. Been binge watching since. My boyfriend passed. Both unexpected, both sudden, and in their sleep. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that these videos are at least finding you, because there has been collectively for the last like year or so, there's been portals where energy shifts and is cleansing, and a lot of people are passing away. Um, and it's really, really hard, and I've experienced it. And my dad has been losing a lot of people as well. And it's not easy. And having our ancestor altar and being able to like find peace, um, and know that they're at rest is invaluable. Oh, I'm glad you have an altar for both of them. How do I sign up for Z School for the Gifted? Yeah, so in this video and any of my videos, if you go, I think it's like the third link down, because I have two music links for my competitions, and then there's one for like services and things like that. You can head there and go to Z School for the Gifted. The picture is always going to be a pink comic book version of me. I recommend everybody go there, because you can ask any spiritual questions you want. I will answer them, and I will usually tap into your energy. And so I have folks who have been going for like months, and you should see their gifts now. So I will help you at any stage that you need. And if you want something more private, like there's tarot readings, there's other sessions, like there's shamanic journeys, there's my VIP mentorship, like there's a ton of things. But at a minimum right now, go to Z's School for the Gifted. It's literally $22. You're survive. Speaking with my spirit guides to let them know a sign I be okay. Okay, thank you, Brooklyn. Okay, number 7 for you. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I have lost 8 people once, back to back in a span of like 3 months. So I completely know how that feels. Also, what kind of altar and what are no's for altar? Wait, can I pay for a reading right now? If you I don't have my stuff with me right now. If you want to do like a tarot reading or anything like that, but go book a reading. Go book a reading. I also have text message tarot readings as well. But I am going to start doing readings live, because I'm happy to help you all. So, in terms of communicating with your spirit guides and letting them know, that's going to be in your soul contract. So, have any of you created a soul contract before, or know what a soul contract is? Let me know if any of you. And also, Aaliyah, make sure that you are um, making time on your schedule for grieving, like physical time, like half a day type of things, like turn your phone off, allow yourself to grieve for longer than you think. Because a lot of times we think we're allowing ourselves to grieve, and even if we do have an altar, we still need space and time to be able to let go and find peace and find joy again. Um, and I've noticed that sometimes when people do have an altar, which is great, that the people who have passed don't always come right away, because they're also doing their healing. And so just make sure that you are making enough time to take care of yourself, to nourish yourself, to, celebrate the moments that you had, but specifically focus on yourself, because if you do want to communicate with them down the road, it'll be so much more easy for you and peaceful, and you'll be able to feel so much more love when you have the energetic capacity to be able to do that. Um, yeah, not knowingly created a soul contract. As far as a vision board, I was going to make it with my son. I love that. Um, this has been my push to show me my gifts and communicating with others side. It's mind blowing. And just watching a video about soul contracts before you popped up. Yeah. So soul contracts are super important. I can share this with you all right now. So something that you can do is literally write on a piece of paper. And if you haven't done this, you need to do it today, right? You need to have your soul contract. You need to have your altars, and you need to have your vision boards. So I'm giving you all the gems right now. So make sure that you have your piece of paper, and you always want to write, whether it's a soul contract or a petition, depending on what your practice is, that you are writing your gratitude for your guides. And you can be specific if you want to, or you can talk to them in groups, however you communicate with them. And you can also add in like things about your guides and ancestors, like known and unknown, because you don't know all of them, and your ancestors will rotate out and rotate in depending on what you need in your life. So at any given moment, you could have different ancestors. Same thing with your guides. Hi, Luna. Um, so you always want to start with gratitude and just saying thank you. And then beneath that, you can ask a request, like you can give a request to them and say like how you prefer to be communicated. And this is literally terms, like terms and conditions. Like I literally want you to think about it like that. And some of the things that I would write in the beginning when my gifts were opening, like I would write like, please only contact me between like 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Like I was so specific. I was like, I only want you to speak to me this way. I don't want to visibly see you. I'm okay to sense you. You're okay to teach me things. I don't want any like energy possession type things, because my family comes from New Orleans. Well, part of my family does, and I'm also indigenous, and so my gifts are very strong. And so the gift of receiving energy into my physical body, which is why I can hold deities and ancestors and things like that, is very strong and easy to do. So I had put into my contract that I was like, I'm not ready to do that yet. Can we wait till later? um, and that's how you can begin to communicate with them. And what you want to do is like keep your soul contract somewhere that's like in a grim or a notebook or an ancestor book. I highly recommend all of you have an ancestor book, like a sacred book for yourself, um, because we're going to need to pass this information on to other people. And the time that we're living right now is very unique. And so the people coming are not going to know exactly what it was like living in our time. And this is also just a good practice for you to know what practices work for your energy. So then a year down the road, you can look in your ancestor book and your grim and be like, what did I do a year ago that got me here? Right? So make sure that you are writing your terms and conditions in your contract, and be specific too. I know that I also had some ancestors that had caused me harm, and I wasn't ready for them to be around, and they were being really chaotic. I temporarily banished them from my own energy. I chose to do that. And I wrote in my soul contract boundaries around only certain ancestors can step forward when I say so, like when I give them permission to, because it's too chaotic, it's too bananas when you have this many ancestors from every freaking lineage under the moon, like myself, who's super diverse, trying to get you to one place. And so I was like, whoever is here for my highest good, who wants me to like be in the highest frequency of love, who's actually here to help me with humanity, can stay. Anybody else who's just there chatting, like, it's a no. Um, so I this has okay, so I read that. Hi. I would love to build a better way to communicate with my ancestors. That's something that I am looking into big time these next few weeks. Awesome. Yeah, I would definitely do that. You're gonna need it for anybody who is like on this spiritual journey, or like since all of you are artists, you need your ancestors. There's no way you're going to be able to do this without them, because your ancestors are also a layer of protection for you. and they will orchestrate differently than how deities and spirit will orchestrate things. Um, Yay! Yeah, definitely come. Uh, I just opened the link back up, so I don't know if today is open, but there's class on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. They're all really fun and they vary. Sometimes there's like 4 people, sometimes there's like 20 people, so it just depends on whatever happens. But I highly recommend like when you sign up, come like ready to receive because there's always a lot of information that comes. Have your notebook, have water. If you want to walk around, do things like that because I go through people's sheet one by one, like that's totally fine too. Can they help me build my YouTube? Yeah, ancestors do everything, but you have to be able to do the healing work because the ancestors are only going to be able to assist you in how far you're willing to take your growth. So if you are unwilling to take like an unbiased look at yourself as to what it is about your social media that isn't growing, or maybe it's a mindset that's keeping you from keeping it growing, or maybe it's like a forceful nature to want it to grow instead of going with divine timing. Like there's many things as to why the energy is like that, and so the ancestors will assist you with what you need, not necessarily what you want. So if now is a good time for your social media to grow, they may sit you down and like teach you how to do it, but in a sense, that is like you also need to heal. Like the ancestors always come around when you need to heal. That's why they're there. um, yeah, Brandy, definitely stop. All of you should stop by. It's so much fun. And the classes range from like an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours. It just depends. And if ancestors appear, then I will share those messages too. If they don't, they don't. Like it really just depends on someone's energy and how open you are to it and if it's relevant to you in that moment. Um, can't express how much when I saw up on your channel, I saw the things. Aw, oh, you're so sweet. Hi, Priya. Um, which I cannot find anywhere else on the internet, yet I connect to it and on a daily basis. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for sharing that. I always try and post when I can. My schedule has been really bananas. Spirit's been taking me on quite the roller coaster, so that makes me so happy. I love hearing that it's helpful for you all. Um, Yay, yeah, you were always in the right place at the right time. Since my boyfriend passed, my watch time and views are like never before. I actually met him on my live. Yeah, the energy always shifts. Depends, like it always depends on what you are going through, and what your energy is at, right? And honestly, for the longest time, like on my YouTube, like I was posting videos because Spirit was telling me to post them and it was building my resilience. It was literally building my resilience. And I realized that for like a couple years, I was building my business for this very moment so that I could reshare it all and do more than one thing. Like it was never about like necessarily it's not the right time or any of that. It was Spirit was preparing different aspects of my business so they could all take off at the same time. That's what was happening. But yes, I'm open. I know this is a tower moment for me, but I know it's taking me somewhere higher. Yeah. And tower moments are such a beautiful thing. Like some people, pull those cards and there's like a weight to them, but the tower moment is just change, like, and it's unexpected change, but it's always good change. Like right after the tower is beauty, right? It's like it's temperance, it's rebuilding, it's shifting into a new life, and the pieces need to fall is how I always say, like, let your pieces fall, let spirit and your ancestors step in for you. um did mine change my look because I have really changed? Yeah, rebrand. How do we sign up for the class? Yeah, so if you head over to either the description in this video or if you click on any of the descriptions of my other videos, there's going to be three like links at the top, which by the way, in all my descriptions, there's so many resources. So be sure to check them all out. Like I do a lot. I think it's the third link. And also, if none of you have voted, please vote for my music. I'm in this competition to perform if you haven't seen it already. And I'm like putting it out there. I'm like, no, we've won already, but I like need everybody's help to be able to do that. So it's going to be the third link down for the School for the Gifted. You can go ahead and click that, and it'll show you when the next couple of classes are. And they're usually Monday, Thursday, Friday. And you can come, stop by, ask your questions. It doesn't matter what it's about. Like, I also have multiple modalities that I practice because my lineage is so diverse. So even if you work with goddesses, deities, lords from different ethnicities, different cultures, different backgrounds, I will likely still be able to help you. Or even if you're like, I'm feeling really tired today and I don't know why there's so many spiritual things going on in my dreams. Like, these are things that you can come ask me. And some people even ask about their business because I do have a business coaching class, but you're welcome to ask it in the School for the Gifted. The business one, I'm going to be expanding with my dear friend who has also worked in the fashion realm with me. Well, not with me, like me. So I did a lot of high fashion as well, manufacturing, all the things. I have a very weird background and also chemistry, and she's very similar. She worked for like Chanel, Hermes, like all sorts of people. So we're collaborating and going to come together and help everybody. So stay tuned for that because it's going to be the same link. Yay! Yes, please do vote. Can I join the school from the UK? Yeah, I have people join from the UK all the time. I would just pick a time that resonates. I think later in the day might be later for you. Some people from the UK join the 2 o'clock one, but I feel like that's like 10 or 11 p.m. for you. Um, and so the Mondays and Fridays are going to be the earliest. I think Mondays, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Mondays at 9 a.m. That one's a good one because it like sets you up for the week. And some people go to multiple. And what I'm actually thinking of doing is just doing like a monthly pass. So then you can pay whatever you want to pay for that pass, and then you can choose which ones you want to sign up for based on your schedule, and get your coaching then. And like it's super easy. Or there's like a subscription for texting. Like if you're like, I want some privacy, but I don't want to be on video, you can totally do like the text a friend and I will coach you over Telegram throughout the month. But yeah, you can sign up that way. Thank you. So this is my brand, pink color. And so I wore it when I was in Costa Rica since there was a lot of marketing, a lot of music, a lot of all sorts of things. Um, but yeah, you can definitely join. Anybody can join. I've had people even in India join too. I'm looking at adding some more times. So pay attention to the community tab. I'm going to probably post some polls because I know a good portion of my community. There's some in the US, but there's like a lot in the UK and in India. So I want to make sure that y'all are good. And I am also, it's very related to my lineage as well. Um, and I feel like our energy is just so aligned. But yeah, you can definitely sign up. Just pick a time that works for you. And thank you also for voting. Every like couple of days, it's like a new round. So I've just been telling people to set an alarm. Yes, thank you. Hi, it's so good to see you. Yeah, everybody press the like button so it keeps going. Um, you can vote. There's 2 competitions that I'm in. So the first one is the Wango Tango, which is to perform with Doja Cat and Gwen Stefani, which I've been busting my butt for because the festival is May 10th. And so I've basically been telling people like keep voting every day, share it with people, put a little bit of money in, and then there's like spurts where they do double votes, and it all goes to a foundation anyways for conservancy. So like you can write it off, like it goes to a good cause, like just help me out. And then like as we get closer, it's going to be like more competition, so that would be a good time for people to start donating physical money. And then the second one is the Timbaland one. So there's like a global music search, and that's the second link. So the first one is like the Wango Tango Festival in May. The second one is the global search one. And then the third one is where you can find the resources and classes. And then throughout my description, there's like a free morning meditation that I created, like golden light energy, which I recommend everybody listen to every single day. It's amazing. It'll help your manifestations. Someone was just listening to it and was like, the next day I started like getting visited by deities. I'm like, yes, alchemize that energy. So go check it out. Um, so my tattoo, um, I will tell you a tidbit of it because I kind of keep it private, even though it's like dead center. But it's a very spiritual tattoo, and um, it's a mix of two different sides of my ancestry. So my Egyptian side and my Aztec side, and they're like the watchers. These are my this is my watcher ancestor tattoo, and anybody who asks about it, I feel like is also very connected to like the warrior energy, which is what I am. Even though I am a light bringer, I am also very much so a warrior energy, and so I needed extra protection on my chest. So many of our ancestors would tattoo themselves for protection or for storytelling or like recognition. I always get tattoos when spirit tells me to because they've led me exactly where I needed to go. This is my Sailor Moon tattoo has introduced me to so many people in the music industry. It's wild. Like in this one, it always for Oshun. And the ones on my back too. Like it's always like my tattoos are so significant. Like, and you'll find out if you have tattoos as well. There's going to be something in your life that leads you down your path. But this one is very ancestral, and the bottom part hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. Um, I'm a very visual learner. Do you have easy visuals to reference in your school for the gifted? So, not at the moment. No. A lot of times I am picking up on energy, so it's going to be very similar to this, but I'm going to be asking you questions as well. So the more you come prepared for class, the easier it's going to be. I'm not taking a concept and putting it on a board for you to watch. Like that's not how the class works. The class is like an open forum like this. You submit questions ahead of time, and when you get to class, I will be answering them and channeling your energy and like seeing in my mind's eye and my channeling what you are actually doing at home and asking you about it, or if the ancestors are presenting something to me or they want to share information, I will share it with you just like this. Like I'm not going to have like today we're going to go over altar work, this is what an altar looks like. I don't do that kind of teaching, not in that setting, because it's real life channeling, like real time channeling in that moment. And so that is how I am teaching you. And if there's a concept that needs more explaining, like at the moment, you'll just have to have your notebook or whatever it is. And down the road, I could use visuals, but for my bandwidth right now, and there's only one me and only one channel, like channeler, I will not have visuals because I'm usually touching on like 20 concepts for one person, like this. Like, so I'm like, okay, tell me about this. Why are you eating that? Like, your ancestors say this, make sure you do this, right? So it's very like open like this. Um, so if you need visuals and things like that, it may not be the best setting, but if you have questions you need to get answered, I would definitely check it out. Um, yeah, of course, happy to help. Do you have any other times besides 12? So there is no 12 o'clock class unless you're in a different time zone. If you click the link, it'll show you all the times. Um, So all of the time slots are going to be available for you to pick from, and those are going to be the only times. So Monday, Thursday, Friday, all Pacific time. My time is always Pacific, and there are always people who ask you about the time. Be resourceful and look at the time. It also comes in your confirmation email. So that's it. Monday, I believe it's at 9 a.m. Pacific. Thursday, it's 2 p.m. Pacific. And Friday, it could be like 11 Pacific, or like 11 is on Monday. I don't remember. But the times are going to be there. 3 classes only right now. So hopefully that was helpful. I would love to have you there. If you can't make it, then it'll align down the road. Like if something shifts or anything like that, or maybe a private session would be better for you. Um, I'm doing a lot of international travel because I'm also on many of the same paths that you have. So my schedule is wildly changing, and it's going to start very, very soon. So there's likely not gonna like this is what you're getting of my time right now. So let me know if you have any other questions about it. I have all scars, no tattoos. Yeah, sometimes that happens, right? Everybody lives a different life. Tattoos are basically scarring just with ink. um, so they all have energy, they all have memories. Um, but I would love to have you all in Z School for the Gifted, or at least like help you out somehow. And I'm so glad that you were all here because it's really, really important. Like if you again, like for anybody who wasn't here in the beginning, make sure you have your vision board. I'm gonna go through this again. Make sure you have your soul contract. Make sure you have your ancestor altar, and make sure you are getting outside, right? Because a lot of people are asking from things from the universe, from spirit, for fame, and you are not visible. So don't forget about the actual tangible aspect of being in the spotlight, right? Like you have to go out and network with people. You have to go out and meet people, like go to shows, right? If you are a musician, you should be going to concerts. If you're an artist, you should be going to the museum and farmers markets and all. Like you need to be doing the things that are going to get you closer, because that's the only way the energy is going to be able to find you. And then people like me are going to be like, hey, don't forget to do this. um what do you think about a pendulum? Hi. I've never been to Maryland, but I've heard about it a lot. I actually had a random sweater from the thrift store that I found that had a duck on it that was pink and said Maryland on it, and I loved it, so I kept it. I think it was like for a restaurant. Hi, Sunny. Um, Okay, so yeah, pendulums are great. Pendulums, just like tarot and other like certain tools, do need. Oh, you're also from Maryland. Look at this, it's a Maryland party. Um, Maryland energy lately. I have another friend also from Maryland. Um, Pendulums are great. Pendulums need programming, so you have to teach your pendulum to read your energy, because it usually has a crystal on the bottom. And so you need to not just cleanse your pendulum, but you need to infuse it with your own energy. Like something that you can do with tarot, like when you first get your deck, obviously you clear it, you cleanse it, you carry it on you for like a week, and you put it under your pillow and sleep with it so it gets to know you and every aspect of you. You can do the same thing for your pendulum, and also sit there and ask it obvious questions, right? So if you are trying to do readings for yourself or for other people, you would want to start with like, what is my name? Or like, did I do this today? Or, like depending on how you're reading, or if you have a disc, right? Allow it to speak to you if there's letters. If you don't use a disc, again, say like, am I an alien? That's a trick question, right? Maybe it won't spin. So you have to program it. I love pendulums. I used to have a bunch. I don't use them as much anymore because it takes too much time for me. Um, and the way my energy flows into my body at a massive rate, I would like the pendulum is too slow for how my energy works now. But I love them. Like if I were to be around nobody and in the middle of a forest, I would totally play with a pendulum. Like I love pendulums. So I highly recommend you keep using them if they call to you, because also something to remember is that everybody's soul uses different tools. So just because one spiritual teacher or person uses a pendulum doesn't mean like another person shouldn't, because it could be their soul's path to use those tools. And I know on mine, like there were tools that I've used it like last year that I don't use now that may come back down the road, or were specifically there to help me during this phase of my life. So if you feel called to use your tools, I would definitely do it. I also teach people how to call in their tools. And I was talking to my friend about that last night. Um, I call in my tools from different lifetimes. And I think one of the coolest ones that I've gotten was a wand that was handcrafted in Egypt by a very old family in Egypt, and they picked all of the crystals, all these different crystals, and there's like a bunch of giant moldavite in it. And then they like put it together, and it's like a wand, and their family blessed it, and they hand carried it over to the US, and it found its way to me. So and they hand delivered it to a hotel, and it had been in their family for a while. So I feel in my soul, but I haven't done it. Oh, okay. Yes, yes, I do that so far. It's been great and accurate. Love them too. Yeah, they're freaking amazing. Wait, is it Daniel? Daniel? I don't know how to say your name. You feel it in your soul, but you haven't done it. Are you mean like using a pendulum or using tools? Um, what other tools do you all use? I've got like another 5 minutes, so I just want to make sure I'm being as helpful as possible. And please do show up for Z School for the Gift. I'm not even kidding you. Um, I honestly like am going to do my best to offer it as long as I can, per Spirit's request. And with my foresight, I know that my schedule is going to change and I'm not going to be able to get to it as much as possible. So now I honestly like now before summertime is going to be a great time for all of you to tap into the resources that I have and the channeling that I have, and I'm going to teach you every like as much as I can for as long as I can before I can't sustain it any longer. Um, do you know about how you can ask questions and one hand gets warm for yes or no type of questions? Um, I mean, and one hand gets warm. So, excuse me. So, when there's like temperature variance in general with people who are spiritual and practicing their gifts, it's just a flow. Oh, whew, excuse me. It's just a flow. It's literally energy. It's just a flow of energy moving through your body. You can write down everything that you experience when you do readings and see if there's a pattern. Always see if there's a pattern, because sometimes people feel warm in certain areas if um, if their guides are trying to tell them that that's a confirmation, right? So something that I also have people do from the school is always do like long length body scans as much as you can to understand how your body receives information from the spiritual realm, which in that case would be warming of the hand, right? So from there, you would be able to communicate with your spiritual team and with your own energy and test it. Like that's exactly what I did. I tested it. So I knew that every time I got this type of information, it meant this in my body, or every time this deity was around this happened in my body, in my skin, in my hair, like whatever it was. Um, yeah, like you have to always keep something to write it down. I feel like also for our um, time and society, like because everything is so techy that we don't write things down as much as we need to. But I'm encouraging you all to like have some sort of book, because even if your phone goes out and things like that, you're going to have something that you wrote down. And also it's the energy of writing it down and the muscle memory of writing something that's going to help you remember. So always write down stuff for yourself. And even in my ancestor book or Grimm in the beginning, I was putting all my stuff. Like I would put my thoughts, I would draw things, I would write like, oh, it's a Leo full moon today and this is what I'm healing, right? So then like it became like a memory bank for literally everything I was going through. And some of my Grims were in a different location, but they were in a location that the ancestors were protecting. And more recently, a lot of them all came back to me because I stopped traveling and all these things, and I'm, shifting energy and moving locations. And I was looking back at them, and it was the most powerful thing I had ever seen. It was like I was talking to myself as an ancestor, and it's a really cool thing for you because you get to see not just your growth, but how every single thought and tool that you were using got you to where you are in the literal sense. Like you will literally see, like if you wrote down, oh, I'm having thoughts about going to, I don't know, San Diego and doing X, Y, and Z, like, I don't know what this is, question mark, right? And then, like, you look at your book a year later and you're like, oh, I went to San Diego like 4 times and I met this person, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you start to piece it together and it helps you also not question your gifts as much. And then you can go out and teach people, right? Because it's like in medicine, each one teach one. You can go out and then teach people how to help themselves, and you can help your family as well. So we keep record of everything because it's intentional. It's how we share information, just like hieroglyphs and many scripts in in cultures. So like do your best to write stuff down and help yourself, and also know that you're going to make an impact down the road. But it's a beautiful practice to have, and it's very calming. And we could start with you journaling and meditating and writing first thing in the rising, right? Like that's how you can get your energy into it. And then you can also, like, with the things that you try, like maybe you have some candle workings, you want to see how they work, write it down in your grim and like write the result, like what happened. And I can't remember the name of the teacher, but they would always say how they had 2 books. They had one for their trial practices, their workings, and then a final book that would have all of their final workings in it that like worked the best. So then they could reference that. And the other one was kind of like, oh, this is what I'm tinkering with right now, which is what like basically geniuses do, right? It's an idea book. So those are some things that you can do. Is that making sense? Like, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna head out in like a minute or two. Let me know if this was helpful. And I'm really glad that all of you were here because it's such an important time. And I cannot stress enough, like, stay on top of your practices. I'm not kidding you. Like, not so long ago, I didn't have the opportunities that I have now. Okay, yes, it's helpful. Like, and it's weird when like I look at my stuff and I talk to my therapist and they're like, go through all the things that you've done. And I'm like, yeah, in like 9 months, billboard, TV, like music production, like travel, all like all these things. And like I never would have guessed it, but it was because I put in all of the work, which is why I encourage you to not drop the ball for yourself, because also you deserve to be happy. Like you deserve to feel love, you deserve to feel fulfilled. Many of you have big missions in this world. So don't give up. You feel something in between your shoulder blades is stuck. When I think of some people, yeah, you need to release it. It's just energy. You do a lot of cleansing, do a lot of clearing. Think about your attachment to them, why it's there, what you're not letting go of, even if you think you are letting go. Gratitude and prosperity to you, dear. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out. Again, reminder, don't forget to come to Z School for the Gifted and do your work that we talked about, and also vote for my song. I highly appreciate it. And if like things go swimmingly, I want to see you all there, front row. Front row. And I'm sending you so much love and so many hugs. I am here for you. And make sure you're commenting on videos, because I go through and look at them. And if there's concepts that I feel like are going to be valuable for everybody, I will usually just make a video. Yay, you voted. Thank you so much, Sunny. I appreciate it. I'm so excited. Share it with your whole family. Literally, we need to like stay in #1. I think I'm at like 3rd or something like that, which is a huge accomplishment in my book in general, but we're going to just push it home. Yay, thank you, Aaliyah. I will talk to you all soon. And, oh, how do you vote? It's in the description of this video and every other video. I like mass edited all my videos. It's the very first link. There's 2 competitions that I'm in. The first one is the one you want to vote for every single day. And the other one is you vote once per round. So you can do one and then do the other and just kind of set your alarm, because you'll be able to vote at the exact same time the next day. And it's going to tell you, if you try and click it earlier, how many more hours you have, because I do that impatiently sometimes. But yeah, thank you all so much. Be proud of yourself, celebrate your beautiful life, and I cannot wait to see, thank you, yay, and I cannot wait to see all of the magic that you create in this world. I am cheering you on, your ancestors are cheering you on, and I love you all so much. I will talk to you soon. I'm going to get going. I need to do some sing running to prepare. So talk to you later, everyone.